Hi, welcome to my first ever video recording of me drawing and talking. That's the really new thing for me. My name is Siomacco. I'm an artist, illustrator, cartoonist, visual effects artist. My day job is working in visual effects for film and animation. But what I love to do more than anything is draw, and especially drawing comics and cartooning, and so that's what I do a lot in my spare time. So someone on Twitter asked me to draw them SpaceCat and Adam Strange. Now SpaceCat is my character, and you can check out his webcomic adventures at spacecatcomic.com. That's spacecatcomic.com. And Adam Strange is a DC Universe character. He also has lots of fun sci-fi space adventures as well. So I was asked to draw a little pin-up commission piece of the two of them together. So the first step of my process is to work out the composition and the poses. So I started off on the computer, and I'm not showing that part here, but basically I worked out the basic poses and the composition, got that where I wanted it and where I was happy. The reason I start off there is I can adjust a lot more. I can, lengthen a leg if the leg's too short, or I can rotate an arm out, and I can just make sure that the overall composition and layout and poses are exactly what I want. So once I'd done that, I printed it out on a piece of paper here, and on a really light red color. So what I'm doing as I draw here is basically refining what I had done on the computer. The initial sketch was pretty rough, and although I'd kind of blocked in what I wanted, I knew that I was going to go in after I printed it out and really refine all the details, all the small lines and details that I wanted for the characters. And sometimes when I ink, I'm a little more rough than this, but this was for someone else, and I wanted to do a good job. And I also never drawn Adam Strange before, so his outfit had a lot of cool details, and I wanted to get those right. So once I'm happy with that, I started inking. So I use a Pentel pocket brush for most of my inking. I really like inking with a real brush, but sometimes the Pentel brush is just great. It's convenient. I use it at all my Comic Cons and shows, and I've used it so much now that I feel really comfortable with it. I can really get the lines, the line quality to what I want. The Pentel brush is also really great because since it uses cartridges, you're not required to dip it, and it doesn't run out of ink. Well, it runs out of ink in the cartridge, but it takes a really long time for that. So this is the first of, I hope, many more videos going over my process and my work, and I'd really love to hear from you guys, and if you have any questions, talk about art or my work or just anything in general related to comics or illustration or cartooning, I'd love to talk about it. So let me know what you guys would like to talk about. One thing that I did that kind of broke from the traditional Adam Strange design was I added these little rocket boosters that are up closer to his shoulders. Now most of the stuff I saw from Adam Strange, those rocket boosters are a little more like the Rocketeer, which is awesome. but I really felt like it's not super functional to have them blasting right on your lower back. So here I switched to a real brush and some ink, and my initial thought was I was going to try to go for some action speed lines behind the characters to kind of give it a sense of outer space or action and really help the characters pop out, but it kind of wasn't doing what I was hoping, and I realized I wanted to try something a little different. So I got a little brave, and I decided to try to use something called liquid frisket. Now the way this works is it's kind of like a liquid rubber that you can put on your drawing, and it dries. And wherever that frisket is doesn't get the ink, so you can ink over it, and it won't get covered. So I put the liquid frisket on a toothbrush and splattered it all over my ink drawing here. And you kind of hope that it's just not going to ruin everything. So I did that, and once you let it dry, I started inking over everything with my brush again. And really going in and trying to make sure that the characters will pop out against that black. One thing I love about using a real brush is you really have a lot more control over the types of marks you want to make with your brush. Meaning if you want to have a dry brush feel, you can let the ink run out on your brush. The Pentel pocket brush pen is great for consistency, but if you want to experiment with different kinds of lines with a dry brush, or you know, also just to fill in dark areas really quickly, a real brush and ink is the way to go, I think. And using a real brush is really something I'm trying to master. I have a long way to go, but I try to make a point to ink all of my SpaceCat pages with a real brush. Well, I'm going to let this dry, and when I come back after it's dry, you can see I'm going to start wiping away the liquid frisket and revealing the stars underneath. So everywhere I sprayed liquid frisket, now it gets wiped away, and it kind of creates a cool little star pattern. Well, I hope that was fun for you guys. I know I stumbled along with the audio, but stick with me, and hopefully we'll do a lot of cool stuff in the future.